Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Coming on in just a few, we have our influencer segment brought to you by OG Pay. And today we are featuring actor Austin Aaron, who played Luke Holiday in Netflix's very popular 13 Reasons Why, and is currently playing former Lakers Mark Landsberger in the new HBO series Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Now, circling back to 13 Reasons Why, when the first season was released back in 2017, it earned some positive reviews for its amazing portrayal of teenagers and in the difficulties they confront in today's modern environment. But soon after, 13 Reasons Why fell under some rapid fire controversy for its inclusion of a graphic suicide scene, which was ultimately removed by Netflix. And after 4 great years, at this point right now, it is not going to be renewed for a fifth season. And I would assume it's because there is a pricey drama and the cast received many raises thus far. Netflix is also paying a large licensing fee because the show is also produced by Paramount TV. But Austin just has quickly moved on to his next big gig. He's currently playing Mark Landsberger in the new HBO series Winning Time. And for those unfamiliar, Mark was part of the Lakers team that won NBA championships in 1980 and 1982. And this is quite different and a transition for Aaron from 13 Reasons Why to such a tough physical role and much more comedy involved than the drama-filled 13 Reasons Why. And here to chat career, love, and life is the Austin himself. Welcome to the show, Stunner.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. You look fabulous. You look like you stepped out of a magazine shoot. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to chat with you. So congrats on, a great 4-year run with 13 Reasons Why. Let's chat mental health awareness and how the show aimed at really reshaping awareness and teen suicide. So this is an interesting fact. So per the CDC in 2018, Austin, suicide rates for people ages 10 to 24 skyrocketed by 60%. And suicide is now a leading cause of death amongst youths aged 10 to 19. So given this catastrophic trend, is Hollywood's effort to normalize its depiction of mental illness, centering at least some stories on the millions of adolescents who cope with clinical depression, self-serving? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I did a really good job of just, getting people to talk about mental health. Because I know when I was in college, my first 2 years, I played football at UC Berkeley up north, and I was totally depressed. I hated what I was doing every day. I was doing something I didn't love at all. So decided to give up football and go right there because I realized I love entertaining. And so I dealt with anxiety, depression my whole life. It's gotten so much better once I've found something I absolutely love doing. So I think it's really important to being on a show that, gets people talking about it and, normalizes that it's okay to deal with it and that everyone goes through these feelings and you're not any different than anyone else. So
You said that so eloquently. It's very true. And thank you for sharing that personal story as well. The Mental Health Storytelling Coalition, and ties into what you just said, which is an organization formed in 2021. They launched the Mental Health Media Guide, and it's a resource for those working in entertainment to support telling more authentic, nuanced and safe portrayals of mental health, so to speak. So,
yeah.
the show did just that. So, I have an interesting perspective here, and I want you to weigh in. So, as an actor, right, it's your job to bring truth to the lines, either through method acting or through Meisner Tech. What was your process in 13 Reasons Why, other than, your close brush with your own, personal circumstances?
It's pretty funny. So 13 Reasons Why is supposed to be one line on one of the episodes. It's jock number 3, I think it was. And then they heard I could play football because I played football at Cal, and they're like, "Hey, we need you to actually coach some of our actors and also be the quarterback for a scene in the end of episode 2." So did that, and then I got a call I think a few months later that, hey, they want to actually have you audition like for a role on the show. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I did that, and then I found out like a few weeks later that your name is now Luke Holiday. You're going to be recurring in all the episodes for season 3 and season 4. So my process was just, let's go try to be myself as much as possible, because this role was literally created because I think they like what I did. Yeah, no, and obviously they made Luke Holiday kind of more misogynistic than I'd like to be, but no, a lot of it was just go out there and just be myself, and good things will happen.
I love it. I love it. So this was a transition. So now in this current project, you play former Lakers Mark Landsberger in this new HBO series Winning Time, which is the rise of the Lakers dynasty. And Mark was part of the Lakers team that won the NBA championships in the 1980 and 1982. So let's chat. Did you know of him beforehand, before this audition? Because I sure didn't.
Not a clue who he was, so I went on a deep dive to figure out who this guy is. And actually, he reached out to me and my wife a few weeks ago on Facebook, and he said he loved the show. And so we talked for about 2 hours on the phone, and now we're like pretty good friends. It was his birthday the other day. Now he's my favorite ball player of all time. But yeah, had not a clue who he was when I met
That's
him.
so interesting because the show really chronicles the rise of the Lakers dynasty, and there are so many major players in this.
Yeah.
What was the audition process like for you? I mean, have you ever been told that you look like him in the past? Because you're a dead ringer.
Thank you. No, no, not at all. But yeah, in 2019, I did the audition for Landsberger, and yeah, I didn't hear back, and I was on 13 Reasons Why at the time, so I'm like, okay, it's whatever. You don't hear back on a lot of auditions. And then next year, 2021, March time, I got a call from my agent that, hey, they're opening up this role again, and they want to see you in a producer session. So I just hopped right into a producer session with Max Bornstein, Rodney Barnes. It was a lot of improv. It was a lot of like kind of them giving me material on the spot to see what I could do. Yeah, so did that. Found out a week later, Landsberger's. I thought it was going to be a smaller role or like a month's work or whatever, and told me no. Landsberger's now a all episode series regular. You got a week to move down with your wife. So it was an absolute dream. I'm still pinching myself because we're starting up season 2 pretty soon. So yeah,
I
I it was crazy.
It sounds so much it's like so much fun. I mean, you are acting alongside some of the, pretty big legends, John C. Riley, Adrian Brody, Sally Field.
Yeah.
Who was it intimidating to work with all of these greats?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was crazy. But I mean, coming from 13 Reasons Why, I did scenes with Derek Luke or Brenda Strong or did one with Gary Sinise. So yeah, I'm used to working with some big names, but these were like, oh, I show up first day and Jason Clark's calling me out in the scene or Adrian Brody's there, and I'm just like, what is life right now? So it's yeah, but they could not have been sweeter. Jason Siegel, we became pretty good friends because he was kind of like a mentor to me. So yeah, no, they're all the greatest people to work with.
Well, you seem very blessed, and I find it quite interesting that you were a college football player and then, you segued into acting. Was that serendipitous? How did that happen?
I played a year and a half at Cal, I think, as a wide receiver. I played when Jared Goff, he was our quarterback, who's quarterback of the Lions now. But yeah, no, I got to the next level and I realized I'm not very good. There's guys running just way past me. There's guys stronger than me. And I also don't like hitting. And at the next level, you really got to be aggressive and love hitting. So I'm like, I enjoy getting the fans hyped up and getting, for my redshirt freshman year. So I'm like, I love entertaining. I don't like football anymore. Like I love sports, but not football to take it to the next level. So yeah, always had a dream about being an actor. I'm like, let's go for it while I, have no money and don't have to provide for kids and everything of that that comes with
Wow.
that next chapter.
You are just the universe is just opening up for you, Austin. I mean, like like sometimes you walk down the path and you're like, look, all these great opportunities, but obviously it's a combination of your hard work, your preparation, your commitment to your craft. So, which is interesting because you must be doing a lot of physical training for this role, and you've come from a very athletic background. What is it like to prepare for this?
Oh, it's brutal. We're starting up training for season 2 in the next week or so. But yeah, we showed up to basketball training first day last year, and Don Ravin's our basketball coach, and he had coached Steph and LeBron and every great basketball player you can think of. So we show up first day, me and the guy who's playing Magic and Michael Cooper, and yeah, we're like we're actors, but we're gonna try our best, and yeah, hopefully good things happen. But yeah, we've all gotten a lot better at basketball. I think we have, but yeah, I learned how to dunk, so I guess that's cool.
There you go. Well, once an athlete, always an athlete. Okay, we have about a minute left in the segment here. Let's talk about married life and your beautiful wife,
Oh,
Kristen Aaron. Okay, so you recently got married. Your whole entire ceremony and process was featured in People's. Very, kudos to you. That's a great way to kick off married life. Let me tell you that, buddy.
yeah.
Big brownie points there. Kristen's probably loving that one. And she's gorgeous and beautiful herself. How has it shaped you and changed you to now be married? You have about, let's say, a minute.
Our ceremony was could not have been better. It was like the end of November and like this fall weather, and it was 75 degrees and perfect in Napa Valley, which is my hometown. And yeah, it was just magical with all our best friends and family. And yeah, no, life has not changed at all. We still, drink tea with our cats and watch The Office every night. And yeah, I'm just wearing a ring now, so that's great. But yeah, no, we're best friends, and yeah, I'm so pumped I get to keep doing life with her every day. So yeah, it's
Oh, you
great.
are a Hallmark commercial. I can't take it. It's you just melted my heart. You and
Oh,
you and Kristen are two peas in a pod. Well, we're out of time, and I wanted to thank you so much for coming in and what a great interview. It was so much fun. It was one of the lighter ones, but I had a great time chatting with you.
oh, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely, guys. Definitely check out Austin. He's on the gram at Austin Aaron. And make sure that you check out this new HBO series called Winning Time. Very, very cool stuff. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. Our influencer segment to you was brought by OG Pay. We'll be right back after this.